Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. First, I'll let you know important topics of the day, and later on we are going to see each and every topic from prelims and as well as mains point of view. At last, I'll be giving you prelims practice questions as well so that you can understand how you can get the questions from that topic. Okay, let us see the topics of the day. The first topic it is about industrial output slows in new data series. This article is talking about industrial output. So here you have to see what is industrial output, and you have to see index of industrial production. You have to see about core industries, and exactly you have to see what are the reasons why there is a slowdown of industrial output in our country. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under economy. And next topic is Center clears 5 new judges for SC. Strength rises to 37. Already we know that yes, we are increasing the strength of our Supreme Court. Now here central government clears 5 new judges for SC. So earlier we used to have like around 33 members including CJI, but now we are adding 5 more new judges. Now the strength of Supreme Court is having 37 judges plus CJI. So here you have to know about what is the qualification to become a Supreme Court judge, and here you have to see what is the process of appointment, who will appoint these judges of Supreme Court, what is the removal process, everything you have to know, guys. And this is very important from polity point of view from GS paper 2. And prelims is already done, right? So the students who are going to write next year or who are planning to write next year, this part is very important because we increased the strength of Supreme Court judges. It is not a small thing. And students who are going to write mains this year, this will be important. For students who are writing this year mains and the students who are going to plan for next year prelims, you have to see for sure about this, everything regarding Supreme Court judges. And next article it is about perfect storm. So this article it is about GS paper 1 under geography. Already we discussed about that article. And next topic it is about IMEC. IMEC is caught between commerce and geopolitics. So you know about this IMEC, that is India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. And on this IMEC in 2025 there was a question in prelims. What is this IMEC which is connecting which place to which place? So here we have to see what this IMEC project is about and why India came up with this project and what are the advantages of this project. You have to see that. And this topic is important from both mains and as well as prelims, and we have to see about IMEC clearly. And next topic it is about joy and pain. So this article is talking about National Family Health Survey 6. Recently we discussed about that topic related to deliveries, right? So again there is article in our editorial page regarding to that National Family Health Survey. So here we are going to see what is the highlight of that report. Okay, see this article guys, read out the title. Industrial output slows in new data series. What does it mean, guys? Think and tell me what is the meaning of that title. What do you understand? What do you understand? Rise of industrial output. It is saying slows. How can you say it is rise? Can you see this word slows? Now tell me. Industrial production reduced or increased? Decreased, right? So this article title saying that industrial output slows in new data series. Till here you understood, okay? In this month there is reduced output of industries in our country. That means how many sectors we have? Primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. Secondary sector is nothing but our industrial sector or manufacturing sector. So this article is saying that our manufacturing sector had been slowed down. Now understand this, what is this new data series they are referring to? Recently what is the update? Change of base year, right? So earlier base year is 2011 to 2012. But what is the new base year? 2022 to 2023, and that came into operational. Right now, whatever the economic related things we are calculating, now we are using this new base year. So because of this new base year, if you are comparing with that, okay, I'll tell you what happened practically. Earlier base year is 2011 to 2012, and newly updated base year is 2022 to 2023, right? Can you tell me, like, what are the important core industries? How many important core industries are there? 8 core industries. What are those 8 core industries? Okay, let us take, for example, coal. You know coal, cement, crude oil, right? Okay, let us take example of coal, where we will use this coal in generation of electricity, thermal electricity. So whatever the electricity we are using, mostly we are preparing about 70% from this coal. Yes. Now let us take this coal. Now we are in 2026, and this is of last month. Now we are in this, what is the date today? It is June 2nd, right? So this report, it is about the use or consumption in the month of May. Okay, so let us take May 2026. And it is talking about how this coal performance is doing in this May 2026. So earlier what we did, we compared with 2011 to 2012. So for what we are using this coal for? Thermal electricity or thermal power. So if you compare with the electronic goods, whatever we are using different electronic gadgets, like you can take mobiles, you can take fans, ACs, coolers, whatever it may be. We are using more and more electronic devices now. So earlier we used it to calculate based on this. Okay, think one thing is, imagine one thing, do we used more electronic goods in 2011 to 2012 or like 2022 to 2023? Here we used, for example, let us take 10 items we used, let us take that example. But here, if you come to here, we started using more than 30. So earlier we used to have only this Nokia mobile, but now we have smartphone, and even now AI, machine learning. The consumption of power is increased or reduced? Increased. Okay. For example, here we used only 100 watts of power, for example. Here we are using 1000 watts in this May 2020. Just I am giving one example to make you understand what is this base effect. Okay, in 2011 to 12, just we used only like limited, like 100 watts. But now in 2026, we are using 1000 watts. So imagine how much we used in this 2022 to 2023. Around 700. Will you accept this? Around 700 watts we used here. If you are comparing this 1000 watts with this 100 watts, what is the difference here? 900. If you compare these two, what is the difference? 300. That means if you are using this old base year, we are getting like lots of improvement. Compared to 2011 to 12 in May 2026, we are performing good because there is a growth of 900. Okay, but if you are comparing with 2022 to 2023 with this May 2026, only we have 300. So this concept is called as base effect. Are you understanding? So which base year we are using, whether it is outdated base year or whether it is updated base year. Based on this, what happened? Whenever we are comparing with the recent one, obviously what happened? There will be less number which is shown on this paper. Yes or no? So if there is no new base year, obviously we used to compare with that. No. If you are comparing with that, the difference is like 900. That means there is a very high growth we can expect. But here, if you are using this new updated base year, then what happened? The difference is less. That means the growth is slowing down. It is not actually the growth is slowing on. It is because of change of base year. Are you understanding here? So this is the thing which mainly said in this title. Say here, industrial output slows in new data series. Now we used this new base year, that is 2022 to 2023. Because of this, now we can see that industrial output had been reduced because of this new base year. Okay, if you see this infographic, then you can easily understand. So here we have April 2024, April 2025, April 2026, and here earlier we used this 2011 to 2000 base year. At that time we have this much growth, but now we are using this 2022 data. So because of this there is low or decreased. That is a major reason. So this concept is called as base effect. Now tell me guys, what is base effect? So if UPSC wants to give any prelims question, how it can give? In 2026 paper, if you have seen, there is one question related to crowding out effect. Many a times we discussed in our class that our investments are going outside. Yes, there is reducing of FDI and FPI in India. That concept is called as crowding out effect. In 2027, if you are giving prelims paper, so which question you can expect? What is base effect? Are you understanding here? So how can we understand and how can we interpret this UPSC is, you have to take the recent paper and what they asked, and you have to connect with what is happening now in this year, and you have to expect which questions can be asked in next year. So this year they asked about crowding out effect because most of the investments are going out. What is the reason? Because of oil prices, because of rupee depreciation. Number of times we discussed that topic in our class. So now what is happening? After many years, we came up with this new GDP series, and actually we expected there will be a question on new GDP series in prelims. But there is no question on that. So next time the question may be on this base effect. What is this base effect? What is the meaning of this base effect? So because of the using of new base year, what is happening? So there will be a decreased economic growth on figures. That concept is called as base effect. That may be next year question, like this crowding out effect question in this year paper. So like that you have to compare and you have to study. And if UPSC wants to ask another question, which area it can ask? Come on, think and tell me. You have to open your minds. You have to be like broad-minded rather than narrow-minded. Then only you can answer this prelims questions. Unless and until you are broad-minded, you cannot. They may ask you about question related to new base year. Yes, consider the following statements regarding new base year, and they may give you 3 to 4 statements, and they may ask you like identify which of the above are correct or incorrect. So these are the two areas you can expect a prelims based question in your prelims 2027. Okay, so leave this prelims aside and now think about mains. If UPSC wants to give a descriptive question in mains, what they can give? What they can give? No idea about mains. Today we are going to see mains questions so that you can understand how questions can be asked. So that from tomorrow onwards you have to think about how UPSC can give a mains question. Okay, now I will tell you. So here this article is saying that industrial output slows in new data series. In yesterday's class, what I said, in which areas UPSC can ask you a question? In mains, about reasons, impact. So first one here is, they may ask you about what are the reasons of decreasing of industrial output in our country. Yes, possible question in mains. And next, they will ask you like what is the impact on our Indian economy, because industrial growth, if it is decreasing, means it is not a good sign for our economy, no. So you have to see what is the impact. And obviously, should government leave this like this? No, government have to ultimately take some steps, no. So here they may ask you about what are the measures can be taken to overcome this situation. This will be like a 15 marker question, and each sub question carries around 4 marks. Are you understanding? In this way you have to think from mains. What are the reasons, what is the impact, and what are the measures? Okay, now let us see all those things. Okay, so this article is saying that latest index of industrial production data released by MOSPI. MOSPI is nothing but Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation released this data, and this data said that overall there is reduced IIP growth. That is nothing but industrial growth had been reduced in our country. Why? Because they are taking new GDP series. Okay, that is a one important thing, and they gave the data, but there is no need of remembering that, guys. UPSC will not give that much kind of numbers which will be updated every month. This index of industrial production will be released every month, no? So if the data is released every month, UPSC will not ask a question on that data which is released every month. But if it is released like once in 5 years or 10 years, for sure UPSC can ask you a question. For example, Finance Commission, for every once in 5 years it will be constituted. So the data in this Finance Commission can be asked. For example, National Family Health Survey, it will be released, like it will be not updated like monthly or yearly. So on that UPSC can ask you a question. So like that, if repeatedly that data is released, UPSC will not ask you any question on that. Okay, this is the thing that you have to keep in your mind. And whenever UPSC is giving data, for sure it will be a wrong statement only. So in that way, you have to try to eliminate that statements. Okay, now let us see what are the reasons why there is slowdown. So as you all know that West Asian crisis is going on. Because of this, which sector got affected? Crude oil. Yes, because of increasing of international prices of crude oil. And even oil refineries are facing lots of losses. That is the one thing. And even it impacted electricity sector. Why? Because nowadays we are moving towards this electric vehicles, and government is promoting more and more electric vehicles. Not only electric vehicles, instead of LPG that we are using in our homes to cook, we are moving towards electronic appliances. Yes, for cooking, like we are using electric rice cookers more, and even there is increased demand for this stoves, induction stoves, etc. because of LPG crisis. So obviously what happened, there is increased demand. So because of that, now electricity is also facing some challenges. Okay, so now especially electricity and gas supply had been contracted, and even mining and quarrying sectors also had been contracted now. Why? Quarrying sectors, especially construction sectors, are not providing proper work to labor now. So because of that also they had been impacted. And now you have to think about what will be the impact on our economy. So if industries are not performing well, will they contribute to GDP? The contribution to GDP will be reduced. If they are not working hard, means obviously the production in industries increases or decreases? Decreases. If production decreases, then what about unemployment? Increase or decreases? Increases unemployment. If unemployment increases, then what about the salaries or wages of the labor? Decreases. Then what about poverty? Increases. What about hunger? Increases. What about malnutrition? Increases. What about the government spending? Increases. That will be the impact. That's it. You know now how to write what is the impact. What are the reasons? Okay, now you guys tell me what are the measures can be taken by the government. What government has to do? Do government need to sit idle without taking any steps? Is that possible? Will people be happy? No. So government has to take some steps, no? Now tell me guys, which kind of steps government can take to improve industrial sector? Government has to provide incentives to this industries so that they can produce more. If they are produce more, what they can do? They have to export to other countries. So here government has to focus on how to increase exports to other countries. Government has to search for international markets. How government can search for international markets? Government can make free trade agreements with different countries, and government can improve trade relations with other countries so that our Indian goods can be sold in international markets. And even licensing process should be like eased, or we have to increase ease of doing business in our country. So if government is taking all the steps, we can obviously improve this industrial sector. Okay, in this way you have to think. Nowhere it is written in any book. You have to think logically and you have to write these points in your mains. There is no specific book for mains, no? Yes or no? Do we have any books for mains? Do you have any books for only prelims? No. So how can you write here? So you have to think in different dimensions while you are studying, and you have to see PYQs. If you see PYQs and if you know exactly in which areas UPS is focusing, then your brain will start thinking in that way. Whenever your brain starts to think in that way, then only you can write a good answer. Unless and until if you see PYQs, you will not understand what exactly is important from prelims, what is important from mains. That's what my point is. I hope you understood why I'm telling this, why I'm taking that mains classes. In today's class, I'll show you 2024 and 2025 question papers so that you can make a note like what exactly they are asking in history, what exactly they are asking in different subjects, and whenever you are reading that subject, try to think in that point of view. Then obviously you will be developing like broad areas and you will be writing a good answer. Okay, yesterday I answered the questions related to why you are not writing mains answers, no? So now in today's class we are going to discuss that, and from tomorrow onwards you have to write an answer. I will be giving you questions on spot and you have to write and you have to show to me. Okay, so at least if you get that kind of practice for 4 to 5 days, obviously after once polity starts, polity sir will be giving every day one question on your mains. Obviously you will be on that pace. After once polity is done, even economics sir will be also giving mains questions every day. You have to write. So that one question will be given from my side, that is from current affairs, and another question will be from your GS, your faculty will be giving, so that you will be learning answer writing for sure within 2 to 3 months. Okay? Yeah, say this question guys, sorry, title guys. Center clears 5 new judges for SC. Strength rises to 37. What is this article talking about? Simply this article is talking about strength of Supreme Court. Okay, first of all tell me what is Supreme Court? Supreme Court, when it was formed? 19? No. When the Supreme Court was formed? If you see about the judicial system, in our country we have integrated and independent judicial system. So whenever you are writing judicial system, you have to draw these pyramids. Wherever it is possible, you have to use these pyramids in governance and as well as in polity point of view. So here, top court is Supreme Court, top court of state is High Court, and at district level we have district court or subordinate courts. The Supreme Court formed in year 1973 under 1773 Regulatory Act. Under this Regulatory Act of 1773, in that 1773 Act of in that act itself, you will be studying about the Supreme Court. It was formed in the 1773 Act. It only belongs, but later on we made that changes. But if you see the roots here, this 1773 Act talks about the Supreme Court. Okay, so it is the topmost court of our country. And if you see strength of the Supreme Court, have you been to Supreme Court? I didn't got that opportunity. No one filed a case on me to go to Supreme Court. If you see here Supreme Court, we have one person is a senior most judges. That will be our CJI, Chief Justice of India, and remaining will be other judges. Now we have 37 Supreme Court judges and one will be CJI. Okay, here what exactly you have to see is what is the qualification of the Supreme Court judge, and next you have to see about appointment, who will appoint, and as well as appointment process of this court judges, and next you have to see what is the removal process, and next you have to see what are the functions. Yeah, that's it. And here in this appointment you have to see about collegium. Okay, so these are the some important points that you have to see. So if UPSC wants to give a question, what it can ask? Consider the following statements regarding Supreme Court judges. And now there is increased strength of the Supreme Court judges, right? So for sure you will be getting a question 2027 related to this. And in that they may give you 2 to like 4 statements. One statement will be by Supreme Court judges are appointed by Prime Minister of India. Supreme Court of judges have the age, they should have the age of 30 years or 40 years. And what are the qualification? They should be like high court advocate, or they should work in as a judge in some other courts for so and so tenure. So they will be giving that also. And removal process, on that also UPSC can frame a statement. So you have to see all these areas on which UPSC can frame a statement. And recently removal of the judges of Supreme Court is also in news. So we discussed about the process. Can you remember and recall that once? What is the process of removal of judge? Which majority we need? Special majority? Okay. So what is the process if we want to remove any judge? On what grounds we can remove them? Only one, misbehavior and incapacity. If we feel that any Supreme Court judge is having any misbehavior or incapacity, if we want to remove them, first of all, Member of Parliament has to come up with a resolution of removal of Supreme Court judge, and that should be signed by how many members? 100 members from Lok Sabha and 50 members from Rajya Sabha. After once all these signs are done, they will give to whom? Presiding officer. If it is Rajya Sabha, it is chairperson. If it is Lok Sabha, it is speaker. And here again discretion of this presiding officer can be shown. If they want to admit, they will admit. If they want to reject, they will reject. If they admit, then what they will do? They will form a committee, right? So in that committee, they will be having 3 members. And these 3 members committee will be investigating the charges of this people. And if that charges are proved, then they will be giving that report. And that report will be placed in the house, on which they will go for voting. So they need special majority, and after they get special majority in the both the houses, on that day itself president will be removing that person. So this is this process of removal of Supreme Court judge. And this removal of Supreme Court judge process is same for whom? In this process only we will remove some persons who are holding constitutional authority. Which are those persons can be removed on the same lines? Yes, Election Commission of India. Next. Okay, nothing but CEC. CEC can be removed in the same lines. And one more person. One more person. Think. You have to remember these things. Election Commission, that is CEC, Supreme Court, and CAG. Comptroller, Auditor General. These 3 persons will be removed on the same process. Okay, and they have same grounds, misbehavior and incapacity. You have to remember this case. On this, UPSC will be constantly asking questions, and this is repeated theme. Election Commission, Supreme Court judges, and CAG. Okay, clear? Now let us see some facts here. Now first of all, my question is, which article talks about judges of Supreme Court? Judges of Supreme Court. In yesterday's class also I think I said this article. Yes, article 124 talks about Supreme Court judge. Okay, if you see about some facts, article 124 states that the person shall not be qualified for appointment as a judge unless he is a citizen of India. That means, what are the qualifications? So qualifications to become a Supreme Court judge, UPSC can ask you a question. First and the foremost one here is, that person should be citizen of India. If they are foreigners, they are not eligible. And next one is, they must serve as a judge in High Court for at least 5 years. For at least 5 years, he has to serve as a judge of High Court. And next one is, if he is a lawyer, he has to serve at least 10 years as a lawyer. And next one here is, if he is a distinguished legal expert in the opinion of president, then president can appoint that person. And if you have seen this CDS 2026 paper, they asked this question. Consider the following, and they asked which of the given statements below are necessary for the or to be accepted as the qualifications of a Supreme Court judge. They gave these three statements, 1, 2, 3, and they changed this with CJI. Many students, they didn't saw CJI. They changed that president with CJI, and that is a wrong statement. That is a question CDS 2026, which is conducted by UPSC only. That means UPSC has a tendency to change this president with CJI, president with prime minister with chief minister with governor. Like that, UPSC will change. You have to be careful with that person, and you have to cross check at least twice. Don't ignore that. Okay, so they gave this one, distinguished legal expert in the opinion of CJI, but it is not CJI, it is president. The small thing, minute thing, even sometimes we can't see what is the difference in that examination hall and pressure, but you have to be very clear regarding this type of statements in polity especially. Are you understanding? This is this year only, and this exam is also conducted by UPSC itself. That means next time UPSC can ask you a question on this kind of things in UPSC CSC. That is the thing, okay? And next, if you see about this increase in the number of Supreme Court, what we have to do and how this number can be increased, you have to know this also. On this also UPSC can frame a statement. So if you see about what changes we have to do to increase the number of Supreme Court judges is, first one here is Union Cabinet approved a bill. At that time we discussed, Cabinet approved a bill to increase number of judges of Supreme Court. And after that, Supreme Court Amendment Bill 2026 is to be introduced, so that we are going to change the number of judges. And this one here is, currently we have 33 judges excluding CJI, and now this amendment is focusing on like increasing of number of judges to 37. 37 plus CJI will be normally, now the strength of overall Supreme Court judges will be 38. Now you guys tell me why we are increasing this number. Do you think there is a need of increasing number, or else whether we are wasting our money by giving salary for extra 4 members or 5 members? What do you think? What is your opinion on this? Do we need this more number of judges or not? Why? Yes, increasing of cases, increasing of pendency, already increasing of burden on existing members. For sure, we need to increase the strength of Supreme Court. Okay, so that is the rationale. You know about the qualifications, and you have to see about appointment. Who will appoint these judges? CJI or governor or chief minister? Who will appoint them? President of India, right? Okay. See this article, guys. So article we already discussed about this. It is about perfect storm. So we discussed about Hooch tragedy. Yes. Spurious liquor in which area? In Pune, Maharashtra, right? So how many people died? Around 13 people died. So again, there is one article related to that perfect storm. That is nothing but Hooch tragedy. Now you guys tell me, what is the important component in this spurious liquor which causes death? Methanol. Instead of ethanol, there will be methanol. Methanol where we will use commonly? As industrial solvent, and even the fuel we will use this methanol. But here what is happening here? People are consuming this methanol. Because of this, what happens? Their nerves will be getting affected. Slowly, one by one, the organ damage will happen. Finally, that person will goes to coma and death. That is the process, right? Now you guys tell me, every year at least 4 to 5 incidents of this huge tragedy will happen in different parts of our country. What do you think? What are the reasons why this kind of incidents are repeatedly happening? If you're from village area, you might be knowing about this Natusara. Well, now tell me, why we are not stopping this kind of accidents, incidents, whatever it may be? Tell me. What do you think? In mains, how can you get the question? Spurious liquor cases are increasing in our country. In your opinion, what are the reasons? and suggest some measures. In this way, UPSC can ask you a mains based question. Now tell me guys, what are the reasons why this kind of incidents are repeatedly happening in our country? What do you think? Is government not taking action? Have you seen this movie Ishwar, Prabhas first movie I guess? That movie they show about Gudumba. That is nothing but this only. Tell me guys, imagine that movie. Everyone have seen that movie, no? In your college days or in your school days might be. In your school days, tell me guys. Why this kind of incidents are repeatedly happening? Is government not taking any action? What do you think? Are you understanding my question? Uh, addiction. Okay, next. Yes, very good. Cheap price. Low price. Very good. Next. Price is low. Next. Girls, don't you have any idea? Ma'am, we are girls. We don't think about that. Next. Come on, think. What are the reasons? I'm asking you only. Poverty. Okay, accepted. Next. Problems. What problems? Family problems. Sure. Next. Uh, yes, weak enforcement of laws. Lack of proper inspections. Next. Okay, this article is saying that. Sure. మిమ్మల్ని అడిగిన చూడు. Okay, see here. What they are saying is weak enforcement of laws and poor regulation. Because of these two reasons, this kind of spurious liquor is again and again coming into market, that is causing this kind of deaths. Okay, now let us see in detail guys. On this you may get a question this year, because recently in Bihar also, because of this food tragedy, more than 200 people died. And now again in Maharashtra, and in 2026 mains you may get a question on this food tragedy. And who are going to write this, or who are going to okay, you are having confidence that you are going to clear this year prelims, so focus on this area. So you can get a 15 marker question this time on this spurious liquor. Okay, now let us see this. Spurious liquor is nothing but it is having more concentration of methanol compared to that of ethanol. So other names of methanol are methyl alcohol, wood spirit. And you need to know, even sometimes UPSC asks this chemical also, that is CH3OH. Meth, eth, prop, but, pent, you know that, right? Based on number of carbons. Meth means 1 carbon, eth means 2 carbons. Next. Propane 3, butane 4, pent 5. So here we have only 1 carbon. Carbon has valency of 4. Hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Here we have OH. That is CH3OH. That is a formula. I know organic chemistry very well. So, okay, see here where we will use this methanol. UPSC can ask you a prelims based question on this. Consider the following applications where methanol can be used. They may give you 1, 2, 3, 4 and they may ask you 1 only, 2 only, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You know the question format. So here if you see applications of this methanol, methanol is commonly used in paints, varnishes and even plastic. And it is one of the major raw material used for production of formaldehyde, acetic acid and different aromatic hydrocarbons. There is nothing but the solvents. And next one is it can be also used as antifreeze agent, especially in fuels. If you don't want to freeze that fuels, for that reason we will be using this methanol. And next one is it will be also helpful for removal of water from automotive and aviation fuels. Yeah, that's it guys. And if you see this kind of causes, so this causes on which you basically can ask you 10 marker mains question. The first one is you said like poverty and economic vulnerability. So if they are not that much economically good, if they are very poor, obviously they will not eat food, but they want 90 ml for sure in the night. You know that very well, especially from this village areas. So they will go for alternate cheap liquor compared to that of brandy or whiskey, other brands, brandy, whiskey, rum, gin, Rammena. Okay, so like that they will use this kind of cheap and locally brewed alcohol. And next one is misuse of ethanol is happening because it is inexpensive industrial chemical. Okay, it can be oftenly stolen and even many a times that is illegally mixed to increase profits. That is a major reason. And next one here is there is no proper regulation enforcement. Actually, you know this excise act, excise people. You might have heard that, like especially in Telugu, we'll call as Abkari వాళ్ళు వచ్చారు. Abkari. No idea. Abkari, vinla, Abkari, who will deal with this kind of excise only. They will come and they'll check this kind of alcohol related things. Excise inspectors will be there separately for this. So here there is no proper enforcement of this act called as Excise Act. So to control this alcohol in our country, we have one Excise Act of 1944, but at the ground level it is not at all implemented. So that is a major problem. And next one here is political and bureaucratic nexus. So obviously what happened, political party people will be having nexus with this bureaucrats, and because of this what happened, obviously these political parties will be focusing on their voter base rather than their problems and the solution for their problems. So because of this kind of nexus, what happened, preventing of law enforcement can happen, and even the people who are involving in this making of spurious liquors will also get protection. They will not get punished. And next one is lack of awareness. People don't have proper awareness regarding this. What is the impact after consuming this kind of spurious liquor? They don't know. What they'll do, they'll come and they'll simply drink that. And next one is even there are some flaws in supply chain monitoring. Okay, now you guys tell me, if you are an excise officer in your area, this kind of incidents are happening very frequently, and there is increased political pressure on you, and even your seniors are also increasing pressure on you. So what kind of steps you can take to control this kind of incidents in future? Are you understanding my question? Ethics. Ethics is not only for mains but also prelims from now. Think guys. What will you do? Inspections, regular audits. Next. What can you do? Proper implementation of laws and enforcement of laws. Next. Increasing of awareness to the people related to this spurious liquor consumption. Next, you can also conduct some campaigns. You can use children to bring change in attitude of parents. If you are saying if parents are not listening, if their children are telling, for sure they'll listen. Yes or no? So you have to use persuasion technique to change the mindset of people. Okay, keep it aside. Next, see this article, guys. IMEC is caught between commerce and geopolitics. What is this article talking about? I'll tell you full form of IMEC, that is India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. It is a project where we are connecting India with Europe via Middle East. Now tell me what is the meaning of this. IMEC is caught between commerce and geopolitics. What does it mean? What is happening in this Middle East? War. So geopolitics is not good now. Lots of things are happening in different areas. So because of this, ultimately, this IMEC project will be getting delayed. That is the meaning of this title. So if UPSC wants to give a question, how can it give? In 2025, there was a question before year. IMEC is a project which connects, and they have simply ABCD options. India, Middle East, Europe. The answer is that one. But they changed some things. There is a very simple question that asked in 2025 prelims case. Okay, now let us see about IMEC. IMEC is a multimodal connectivity initiative. Multimodal means we are going to develop railways, sea routes and roadways to connect India with Europe via this Middle East. Okay. And next important point here is who signed this? We have India, US, Saudi Arabia, UAE, France, Germany, Italy and European Union, they joined this. And we came up with this project in year 2021. And actually this project is an alternative for China's Belt and Road Initiative. And here you have to remember one point, that is this project has two corridors. First one is Eastern Corridor, second one is Northern Corridor. In Eastern Corridor, India is connected to Gulf, and from Northern Corridor, Gulf to Europe. So like that we have two corridors here. So here we have India, right? From here we are connecting this Gulf, and from here we are connecting this Europe. So this is Eastern Corridor and this is Northern Corridor. Eastern Corridor from India to Gulf, Gulf to Europe will be Northern Corridor. So in this way we are developing railways, roadways and as well as sea route to connect Europe. Why we have to connect to Europe? There will be increasing of bilateral relations, there will be increasing of trade to boost our exports. Okay. See here, what we are doing here, we are going to have network of ports, network of railways, roads, sea lines, energy pipelines, and even we are focusing on digital infrastructure so that we can enhance trade of our country with Middle East and as well as European countries. Okay, what is the importance of this project? You have to think about this. First one is, if we complete this IMEC project, Indian logistic cost will be reduced by 30%. So now what we are doing, we are going through the Suez Canal and we are going to Mediterranean Sea and we are connecting this Europe. So if we are having this Addadari shortcut, you know the shortcut, right? So we are planning a shortcut so that the cost of transportation will be reduced by 30%. And next one here is, this initiative will also align with our energy goals. And next one is, we are focusing on energy pipelines and as well as clean energy infrastructure here. And we are also developing under cable sea infrastructure as well. And if you are having this kind of infrastructure, obviously we can attract more and more investments into our country. That will be helpful for the development of our country as a whole. So these are the significance of this IMEC project. Clear? See this article guys, joy and pain. Health gains from NFHS 6 are significant but unaddressed needs exist. So this article is talking about National Family Health Survey 6. What we discussed in last class? There is increased institutional deliveries. Because of this, we are going to get a positive output. Okay, the same thing it is given here, nothing more than that. Just see this article, and here this article is saying that yes, somewhat there is improved healthcare, but there are some underlying problems in our healthcare. What are the problems? Now we are preventing some diseases, but what about non-communicable diseases? There is rising of non-communicable diseases in our country. And second problem is there is increasing of obesity. So recently one report said that in every 5 Indian children, one is having this obesity. So if they are having obesity, what happened? They will be getting metabolic problems in their body. So whatever they are eating, the food that cannot be properly metabolized. Because of that, that will lead to NCDs like diabetes, heart disease, liver function disease, etc., kidney failure like that. So here this article is saying that even though increased healthcare outcome in our country, we are having some underlying problems. That is, we have to address this NCD problem, and even in some areas there is no proper functioning of healthcare system. Like there is no primary healthcare centers also in remote areas and in tribal areas. We have to increase that. And next one here is proper infrastructure is not available in our country related to healthcare. We have to address that problem. And next very important problem in our healthcare is out of pocket expenditure. You know this out of pocket expenditure, right? So there is one more problem, out of pocket expenditure. So we have to address these 5 problems so that we can improve our healthcare outcomes better in our country. That is about this stuff. Clear? So that's it guys, nothing more than this. And if you want to add any more problems in our country, especially regarding this healthcare, you can add that. See these prelims questions. Answer these questions guys. and use techniques. Using techniques only will help you out, or else nothing will help you in examination hall. Learn them thoroughly here itself. Okay, see this question. Consider the following statements regarding IMEC. First one is, it aims to reduce logistic cost, transportation time between India and Europe. What about aim? Aim will be always correct. Okay, that means one will be there in your answer for sure. Eliminate this two. And while you are eliminating, also try to strike down the options in your examination paper, in your exam paper. Because of that, you will not get confused while you are bubbling. Okay. Next is, the corridor relies exclusively on maritime transport. Exclusively. Done. Next one, it is often viewed as alternative to BRI. Yes, that is correct. Answer this next question. I am making your work very simple and no one will be teaching you this, guys. No one will be teaching you how to say this prelims questions, but I am taking that much effort and I am telling you how to write mains answers, and I am, even though if you are not writing also, I am coming and I am motivating you. Try to understand my efforts and try to utilize this, guys. If you are not utilizing now, you cannot utilize ever. No one will be providing that much support after once you come outside of this course. Keep that in your mind and don't waste your time and utilize the resources properly here. Okay, see this next question, it is about appointment of Supreme Court judges. First one, the Supreme Court judges are appointed by President of India. Yes or no? Eliminate this. Article 124 of Constitution deals with appointment of Supreme Court judges. Yes, 2 will be there. Okay, that means only 2 options left. Next, a person must have attained age of 40 years to be appointed as a Supreme Court judge. So remember, guys, only the age is given for panchayats. For panchayats, how much age is the minimum? 21 years. What about Lok Sabha? 25. Rajya Sabha? 35. Other than that, normally Constitution of India will not prescribe. Especially in the case of Supreme Court, there is no minimum age prescription. We can eliminate this third statement. And next, see here, a Supreme Court judge holds office until years of 65. It is also right. But what about High Court? 62. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember, and in this way you have to solve the questions. If you follow this only, you can complete your paper in time, or else you will be end up in reading only 60 to 65. That happened this time, guys. You can ask the students who gave this year attempt. Paper is very lengthy and even options they got changed. So here you have to follow a proper strategy in your examination hall that I said in your class. If you follow that, obviously you will be doing very good in your examination hall. Don't keep that all kind of things which are coming in the YouTube. Don't change your mindset. Don't feel stressed and anxiety. Okay. So if you are following these techniques, obviously you can do very good in your examination hall. That actually worked. I already showed you how can you apply that techniques that I taught you in 65 questions. No, I applied only that techniques only which I taught you. I didn't use any new technique also. With that we able to solve? No. Then why are you having that much fear, or why are you afraid of this exam? Don't do that. That's all, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you have not yet been subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe, guys. And one more thing here is we are going to start a new batch for GS Prelims Mains Foundation from 8th of June, guys. And if you want to join this course, or if you have any queries related to this course, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. And even this number is having WhatsApp. You can text me on WhatsApp also. And if you want to visit our academy, you can come and you can visit and you can talk to me directly. And our academy is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad, exactly above Vikas Book Center, 2nd and 3rd floor, guys. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.